I believe there are a couple of strategies to slow these school shootings down. One of the big things that jumped out to me in your research is that they have observable departures from baseline, right? And my point about that is these people identify themselves behaviorally, psychologically. But when students see that, coaches, teachers, or whatever, they really don't have a clear path to know what to do once they observe that.
Right.
And what I want to say is that can start a process if someone knows where to go with that information. And that information can then trigger, okay, let's do a home visit. And if you go to the home and you find out, okay, mom or dad is in prison or has been, there's violence in the home, and there's a shotgun leaning against the refrigerator in the kitchen, you're starting to check off some boxes here. So why don't students report that kind of thing so you can do that home study to put this person on a high-risk list because they believe telling is tattling? Mm-hmm. There's got to be a mind shift, doesn't there? It's got to be where this is a student in pain, and I want to report this to get this young man some help.
We see two things happen. One is that we imagine that the perpetrators who do this are these outside monsters who we could never know. The reality is these are kids in our schools, they're in our classrooms, they're in our counseling offices. We see them every single day. So that's the first mind shift. Somebody we know could do this. And second, it's exactly that. Students don't want to overreact. They don't want to tattle. And part of that comes down to what's the response when they do tell? Are we just expelling these kids or criminally charging them? Or are we saying, this is a kid in crisis, people are worried about you, how do we connect you with the services that you need?
Yeah, and Robin and I are national spokespersons for CASA, Court of Sport and Special Advocates. And isn't it true that the number one thing for a foster child in terms of their outcome is an adult that puts their arm around their shoulder and walks them through the system in those critical years?
Yes, that's so true, because all of these children have come from dysfunctional homes, and they need one person that will check with them, talk to them every day, one person from the outside world that cares about them, that says, you can tell me anything.
That's right. I said it involved all of y'all. There are, 59 million students in school? That's 59 million sets of eyes looking around for this. Right. And then if the parents are educated, then just think, that's at least another 59 million sets of eyes if it's just one parent. That's right. And then if you get teachers, coaches, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, you get everybody sensitized to this. Now you've got millions and millions of eyes looking for this, and they know where to go. That's right. They know there's a place to report it, that they know they're going to get loving attention instead of punitive intervention. That's right. And then the second thing that's so important, lock up your guns. Lock up your guns. They cannot shoot you with a gun they don't have.
That's right.
Yes. Lock up your guns where they cannot get to them. If we had those two things going on, we could dramatically slow the roll of what's. Could we not? Am I off path here?
You're absolutely right, Dr. Phil. It is truly about having the ecosystem, like in this room, to be part of those answers.
And the biggest piece about this as well is we're not just going to do safe storage, or if you see something, say something, to stop a school shooting, but that can also prevent a suicide, an accidental shooting, absolutely, a kid who's being bullied and not being paid attention to in school. So there's this broader diffusion of benefits with all of this, that you are saving lives more than just the lives that you think you're saving.
That's right.
And that's why it's everybody's responsibility.
Yeah, and isn't the truth that these school shootings are largely violent suicides? Mm-hmm. These kids, they don't intend to get out of there alive. Mm-hmm.
That was a real kind of aha moment for us when we realized that these perpetrators go in without a plan to get out. They want to be either killed or kill themselves or spend the rest of their lives in prison because they want to be known for this.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.